I remember on Bob First, you actually blamed Suge for Tupac getting killed.
Yeah.
Because it should have been up to him to protect him.
I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book.
I'm going to disclose the facts as they are. I mean, whether they're dead or alive, I'm going to tell the same story because that's my job, is to get to the truth of the matter.
New information about who committed the crime against Tupac was made public from his files. The new Tupac files are making me question everything, one fan commented. Why is there proof that Snoop Dogg was aware that Tupac was being targeted? In order to prevent Tupac from leaving the record label, did Suge Knight want him gone? And the hit was paid for by Diddy. He required fresh companions. In an interview, Tupac's father stated just this. Tupac's biological father says if he would have been a better father, Tupac would still be alive today because he would have never trusted Suge Knight. However, he viewed Suge as a father figure since he was absent. All of his money was stolen by Suge on November 18th, 1995.
Suge Knight. Right. This motherfucker, I feel so bad. I gotta live the rest of my life realizing that maybe if I was a better father, he might not have gotten in that situation. He might have had enough wisdom to know that this motherfucker is nothing but a scoundrel. But he looked up to him like a father. Then to find out a year, 8 months later, that he's cheating him out of all of his money, that's the final betrayal.
Tupac was shown with Sarah Chapman, the mother of Sean Diddy Combs, according to the first page of the new Tupac files. Diddy labeled Sarah his dream girl and referred to her as the one. Tupac didn't like it when she began dating him, according to reports. This prompted his initial attempt to apprehend Tupac, which the police subsequently disregarded and ignored.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
He made another try when the previous one didn't work. A retired police officer claimed that Diddy had Tupac negotiate for $1 million during the Diddy trial. In retaliation, Suge dealt with the notorious B.I.G. Diddy reportedly employed Keef D to pursue Tupac. After spending 20 years free, police finally arrested Keef D and questioned him, when he admitted that Diddy was the primary culprit during that interrogation.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas, which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
He was unaware that he was being filmed. However, they also reveal Suge and Snoop Dogg's involvement deeper within the files. It's crucial to first examine Suge's part in everything in order to comprehend the Tupac files completely. According to the news, fresh names and proof of people involved in Tupac's death are emerging from the Suge Knight is a new name mentioned. The new Tupac files contain numerous references to Suge. Police noted that Suge's account of what transpired is quite strange from the start. They are mostly worried about why he didn't employ security for Tupac.
First of all, you seen what happened. Suge understands who he's dealing with, or what that just happened with, right?
Yeah.
I would have off the top shut my artist down. And if I would have shut him down, I would have moved him in a way to where could nobody get to him. Sure, you know what you doing, don't do. Like, it ain't no security on it.
Suge added, I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking about the night Tupac passed away. How someone can go from performing well to doing poorly is beyond me.
When I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
However, Tupac was allegedly in a deep sleep, so there's no way they could have been laughing together, which makes this statement extremely problematic. According to new police records, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label, then framed the rival Crips to throw off investigators. This raises the question of which prominent gang member he may have attempted to hold accountable for Tupac's demise. Snoop Dogg is among the most well-known in the world. Because Snoop later disclosed in an interview that he was initially meant to be riding in the BMW with Tupac the night he died away.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
This scenario worked out flawlessly for Diddy and Suge Knight. Snoop clarified that, although he was meant to be in the BMW, last-minute changes in plans prevented him from attending. That might have occurred because Tupac and Snoop allegedly got into a fight a few days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
One viral response even asked, is anyone going to mention how Snoop Dogg could have stopped Tupac from passing? Because the framing attempt was so successful, given that Tupac should still be alive. The release of these additional files and Faison Love's response are disturbing. Snoop Dogg.
I always felt when Pac died, it was because Snoop could have stopped that whole thing. I mean, because like I said, Snoop was a Crip. Pac offended some Crips. Doing some game, some dumb, really. It was set off a whole chain of events. You know, in LA don't get mad, they get even. So, you want a real Pac story? That's my Pac story. If Pac would be alive today, if he had stayed allies with Snoop and not cross Snoop.
Had a close relationship with the streets 20 years ago. Some speculate that he may not have gotten into the automobile after hearing a warning that Tupac would be targeted that evening. Investigators also discovered another interview in which Snoop stated that he thought Tupac hated him just 2 days before Tupac being targeted.
I say a week before we was best of friends. 2 days before I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York.
Oh yeah.
And it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with him. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like trying to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
Did investigators' findings on Diddy, however, shed light on what might have actually transpired and even sparked a fan backlash that claimed Diddy wanted Tupac dead because he aspired to be like him.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and in his mind earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
Investigators explained Diddy's potential motivation for wanting Tupac gone at the start of his file. This relates to a tweet that stated, 50 Cent says it's not over. Additional Diddy material that was left out of the Netflix documentary will soon be available on YouTube. This footage will show Diddy starting a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend, Diddy and Sarah Chapman, who notably dated Tupac in 1995. Had a daughter named Chance Combs in 2006 when the photo of Tupac and Sarah from the 1990s got public. Diddy was questioned about it in an interview.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
He was also questioned about his involvement during the Diddy trial. According to news reports, Diddy is being questioned for his alleged involvement in Tupac's death after being named 77 times in a recent court document. The hired hitman in the case, Keith D, claims that everything was completed since Diddy requested it and that the task was simpler than anticipated. Interestingly, though Tupac didn't seem to be all about the streets. According to someone who wrote Tupac's biography, he was incapable of using a gun or defending himself, however.
He died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
When Keith D recounted how Tupac was removed at Diddy's order, the physical evidence used in the Diddy trials shocked the courtroom. Tupac and Suge Knight, the head of his record company, were in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996. They attended a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand. After it was over, Tupac and gang member Orlando Baby Lane Anderson got into a fight in the lobby.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
The fight between Tupac, Suge Knight, and the operators was broken up by security. Tupac and Suge then went back to their hotel to change before going out to party at a club. They were driving to the club at around 11 p.m. when everything unexpectedly that happened in the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keith D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
As detailed below, police later investigated a troubling interview Keith D gave on DJ Vlad's show after the event went unsolved for several years. He began recounting the moment they saw Tupac and drew up beside him in that interview.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car, yeah.
Okay. This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Additionally, he claimed that everything transpired swiftly because Tupac was grabbing for his gun just before they committed the crime against him. However, the report has not been verified.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car started at Tupac and Suge.
This implied that Tupac already knew something was about to happen. The interview also included previously unseen footage of Keith D's police interrogation. Police also examined Keith D's response to Tupac's death.
And he starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando crossed Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
During their inquiry, which appeared to show his true feelings, However,
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. 'Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel they should, you know, that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
this is where the files start to get weird, since some individuals think Tupac might still be alive due to the gaps in the narrative. In an interview, one officer once asserted that Tupac was an industrial plant designed to put an end to the rivalry between the Blue Street and Red Street squads.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, you know, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
Tupac died because the plan didn't succeed, but files that have been gathered over the years indicate that he might still be alive. Many question whether the individuals in charge of turning him into an industry plant chose to remove him from the streets when things were too dire in order to preserve Tupac's life. The files begin with an interview in 2010 with Tupac's longtime pal, Trey. Remember that this was 14 years after Tupac's purported death. But the interviewer questioned him when he last saw Tupac while pointing the camera at the ground. He claimed to have seen him in Cuba.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good. Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Rather than pausing to consider why the reporter would ask then, only 3 weeks later, a video purporting to depict Tupac in a Cuban parking lot was posted on a news website. The long-running theory that
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He was the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
Tupac is still alive and residing in Cuba began with that moment. Even Suge thinks Tupac is still alive, since he stated as much in 2 different interviews that were conducted years apart. Thus,
he was conscious on the way to the hospital.
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
While traveling to the hospital, he was awake. Suge was singled out in a bar a few weeks after he brought up Tupac once more, and a man pursued him 6 times. However, after the incident, Suge refused to assist the authorities at all because he was afraid that he was being targeted for discussing Tupac. However, Suge's son committed the same error when he claimed that Tupac was still alive and residing in Malaysia. Later, he followed up on it with a text exchange that purportedly revealed individuals telling him, "You said too much. It's time to leave." However, this infuriated him. Thus, he posted pictures of Tupac alongside modern-day stars like Beyonce and 50 Cent, along with the comment, "He never left us. They'll be pursuing me shortly." Some feel the charges may be true, while others say this was merely a publicity gimmick for his son. Suge Knight was among Tupac's closest friends.